go. We are just about set to kick it off. Off we go from Indianapolis. And this will work out quite well. He'll get it all the way out to the 30-yard line. So the Broncos come out, and Greg, they are led by their QB of the future. Found their guy with the 6th quarterback selection in the 2024 draft. Second season now for Bo Nix.
Nothing real fancy when you look back on last week's game, Mike. I mean, he had 2 touchdown passes, of course, the 1 interception. We'd love to have that. But for the most part, I thought he was really efficient. I thought he did a nice job operating the system. And there's actually some more plays that he left out there. So I think he can build off a lot of that, try to improve in this one today.
Just a yard on first down. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Dobbins. And he's going to get first down, taking this one up past the 40-yard line.
A gain of 9 yards. That's good for Broncos. First down.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. A pass complete to the tight end, Evan Ingram. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. A gain there of 16 yards. Good for a Denver first down.
16 yards. And the Broncos first down.
On the ground, this is Jaleel McLaughlin. And not much there. Good defense. Held to no gain.
He does a nice job coming from his safety position, filling his run gap assignment. Keeps this to a modest gain at best.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. He'll let this go deep for the end zone. Cortland Sutton, the intended receiver. Now it's going to be 3rd down.
Loss there defensively.
Now Nick's going to look to throw. Now they'll set up the screen for Harvey. And he'll gain some yardage here, but that is not nearly enough for the first down. It's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, out is the rookie 6th-round pick, Jeremy Crawshaw, to kick it away. Back deep, Anthony Gould. And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. Out come the Colts, and they are led by their big quarterback, who's trying to find his way in the NFL. Year 3 for Anthony Richardson out of Florida.
Really solid all-around performance last week, Mike. I think the biggest factor that led to the win is his ability to continue to protect the football. He executed the offense, ran it exactly how they designed all week in practice. Now, it might not have been earth-shattering performance statistically. They got the win. If he can continue to play that style of ball, this would be a tough group to match up with.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Down and 10.
Ready? That's caught out wide on the RPO. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Out of shotgun, Richardson. He gets this complete to Mitchell. And they will finally run him down. A big gainer for Indianapolis. 36 yards. They'll come up here. First and 10.
29-yard line.
Panther 60, Panther 60. Ready.
From the gun, Richardson. One to his right. Off he goes. Carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. The Broncos have it. One of those exciting moments in a football game. There is a turnover and a fumble. And all of a sudden, the guys who were on defense, they're starting to think like offensive players, Greg. They really wanted to take that back the other way.
And I think for that offense, they're fortunate that didn't lead to a touchdown, because for a minute, I thought the defender was going to take it all the way back. But either way, winds up with a pretty nice return.
And he will go all the way. J.K. Dobbins. Touchdown, Denver. It's his second touchdown of the year. The kick by Lutz is good. Broncos will take a 7-0 lead. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. Ashton Doolin now to return it. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Colts offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. So, Greg, people always say when the schedule comes out in May, what do you look for? Back-to-back home games usually not something you look forward to, but it does happen in this case. And when you get a win, and you know you're going on the road week 3, that puts a little pressure on this one to get 2-0 at home to start the season.
Yeah, and how good would they be feeling to start your year and know, all right, we've got 2 wins in the bank, we're playing well at home. It just allows everything in the building to take a deep breath. You know, Mike, it's just such an ideal way to start. The fans are excited, the city's excited, everyone in the organization can settle in. So the schedule makers certainly did them a little bit of a favor here, so they've got to take advantage of it. Build off of last week, come out and play well again, and it really sets themselves up for the rest of the season.
So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Off play fake, it's Richardson. Oh, no chance there. Under a heavy rush, he goes down.
And these are the type of splash plays that can have an impact, especially as the game goes on. This offensive line has to do a better job to make sure that they have this protection shored up and that this isn't a sign of things to come.
And he's going to be taken down right at midfield. They get 18 on the pitch and catch. That's good for a Colts first down.
This is what every offense looks to do, Mike. They want to attack the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. And oftentimes, that's where the chunk plays come. Give it to your receiver on the move and let them do the rest.
Here's a deep shot for Pierce. A lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete. It leads.
So you're a couple inches away from, instead of celebrating a touchdown with your boys on the sideline, you're trotting back to the huddle with your tail between your legs. And that's the fine line between success and failure in the NFL. And
Blitz gets there, and he lost the football. The Broncos have it.
that was a great play by the defense, Mike. He got a little sloppy with ball security as he leaves the pocket. They're able to knock it loose and put it into this drive.
He'll give it to Dobbins. And he'll take this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
He was taken down by
From the shotgun, here's Nims. That's caught left side by Ingram. And they'll stop him just short of the goal line, but they are going to have enough to convert. It's going to be first and goal. Dobbins will score. Touchdown, Broncos. Here's Lutz now for the extra point. His kick is good, and the Broncos move out on top, 14-0.
Colts, nothing.
So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. On the return, it's Doolin. Yeah. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And a solid one back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. Here's the Indianapolis offense. Now as they get set to take over once more. They're in an early hole, 14-0. They'll start digging out soon. Begin this drive, 1st and 10. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. It's nothing more. Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11.
At the
70, camera look.
Richardson. Throw over the middle, looked in by Mitchell. Get about 6 before he's taken down.
It's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 4.
It's 3rd and 4.
Get it.
Throwing, Richardson. This one just too far for the receiver, out in front of him. That one falls incomplete. So, on 4th down, the Colts send out Rigoberto Sanchez to punt. The Broncos have Marvin Nims out for the return. Oh, look at this! It's a fake! Oh, what a mess here. It is intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan McMillan. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
Over 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Play action now. It's Nims. Throw here down the field. Will fall. Incomplete. He was looking for Marvin Nims there. And it'll be 2nd down. Now it's Dobbins. And he'll get forward for about a yard. Veteran safety Jamal Adams there for the tackle.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Nims from the gun on 3rd down. That's to the rookie out of Illinois, Pat Bryant. So after one, it's the Broncos with the early lead. We'll come back to Indianapolis in a moment. The Broncos in possession of the football to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with 1st and 10. Here's Nims to throw. Got it into the hands of Nims. And he'll get about 8 on that one. Most of it coming after the catch. It's second down.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up second and 2.
A run here. It's McLaughlin. He'll get this inside the 20. A nice run. They're in the red zone. It's first down.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. Second and short, play action pass, you can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the first down. This play here, Mike, is just all about the get-off of the defensive line. Watch how fast they go when that ball is snapped. Nowhere for this running back except to go down for a loss.
They set up the screen for Dobbins. Whoa! And he'll be very close to a first down. Won't quite have enough, but now a much more advantageous spot. Here's third down and a few inches. They'll let the fullback try to push the punt. And the Broncos are going to be set up with first and goal as they get the conversion on third and inches.
That's another Broncos first down.
They'll try to run this one in. He will score again. J.K. Dobbins. Touchdown, Broncos. That is 3 touchdowns in the game and 4 for the season. The kick by Lutz is good. Broncos must take themselves to a 21-0 lead. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. Anthony Gould now to return. And he is stopped at 25. The drive will begin then. The Colts offense ready to take over once more. Greg, when you look at the AFC South, there's an appreciation for what the Houston Texans have done. A couple of different quarterbacks, a couple of different head coaches. They've really been the team over the last several years that has been the team to beat in this division. And for the others, there's been moments. The question is, what pieces can they put together to try and knock Houston off the top?
Yeah, and you know, nobody wants to be in a league, right, Mike? Your coach got fired probably for a reason. You're drafted at the top of the draft order for a reason. Typically means things didn't go great. But if you're going to rebuild, I'll tell you, you want to do it in a division where there's a lot of wins on your schedule. And that's certainly the AFC South over the last couple years. So as bad as things feel if you're Jacksonville and Tennessee, the fact that there's not a big dog in your division, your ability...
The blitz overwhelms the offensive line, and down he goes. John Franklin Myers. He gets in to drop him for his first sack of the young season. On second down, Richardson. This defense hitting their ears back, coming to get him again. So back up after the sack, and now it's third and long.
Here we go.
Throwing is Richardson. And that is incomplete.
And after that last incompletion, it's really the story of the game. This offense has had a really hard time sustaining drives that can lead to points. You can sense the frustration, not only on the sideline, but really in the entire stadium. They've got to get something going, especially early in these drives, so they can find themselves in scoring position and come away with some points.
The Broncos offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he's been a tough man to stop in this first half, putting up some big numbers already. And remember, we haven't even reached halftime yet. On the ground, here's Dobbins. And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Brings up second and 9.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's second and 9. To throw is Nims. That one just too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Bryant, the target there. Third down coming up.
And 9 yards to go.
Back to throw is Nims. That's to the left side in the hands of Bryant. down inside the 40-yard line. They'll pick up 23 on that one. First down, Broncos.
First down. It's a gain of 23
A
yards.
run with Dobbins. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line. A gain of a yard. Brings up second and 9.
Ball on the 36 now. Here's second down and 9. On the ground, McLaughlin. And he'll be taken down at the 25-yard line. Pickup of 11 yards on that one. Good for a Denver first down.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
A run now with McLaughlin. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up second down.
The 18-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up second and 4.
Working from the shotgun, he'll hand this one off. And they continue to be tough to stop. Chance to extend the lead even further as they are set up with first and goal.
Broncos first down. First and goal.
Here's a run. Trying to push the pile forward, but he's not going to get in. They stop him up short. 2 minutes remain here in this first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this. They'll try it again from the 2. Second and goal. He's got it at the 3. And he'll take it on in. Evan Ingram. Touchdown, Denver. That his second TD catch of the season. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos are able to extend the advantage to 28-0. So now after the touchdown, Lutz going to send this one away. Here's Gould on the return. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Colts offense ready to take over once again. Well, Greg, it will be a very busy stretch for the Passports. A lot of international games to look forward to. 7-0 outside the U.S. Chiefs and Chargers last week in Sao Paulo. Great ones to follow. Vikings and Steelers in Dublin. Vikings in London playing the Browns the very next week. Broncos and Jets, Rams and Jags, who also play in London week 6 and 7. The Falcons and the Colts are going to be in Germany in week 10. And then the Commanders and Dolphins wrap up the international slate. That's in Madrid week 11. Greg, this has been such an additive part to the NFL season, all of these international games.
And I can tell you, Mike, having played one of the international games towards the end of my career in London when I played for Carolina, it's a great experience. It's fun for the players, it's fun for the coaches, it's fun for the fans and the families. So I expect this slate to continue to expand. There's so many fun international cities around the world that love NFL football.
And from what you hear, there's more to come. We could be at the point someday, very soon, where every team plays one game outside of the U.S. in each regular season. On first down, it's Richardson. Left side, that is caught by Warren. Timeout, Indianapolis. That is their second, as the clock will stop at 45 seconds to go until halftime. Second down throw for Richardson. This offensive line just has no answers right now. It's another sack.
Mike, this isn't real complicated. You're just not going to win a lot of NFL games when you continue to give up sacks at the rate that they are. I mean, this is just a complete disaster for this offensive line. And if they don't get
to the goal line and in. Touchdown. Touchdown, Colts. Zerline's kick is up and good. And the Colts are able to cut into the deficit. Final 9 seconds of this half, and the kick is away. And he's going to bring it out from the middle of the end zone. He'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. This drive starts at the 21. It's 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll work this past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Grover Stewart there for the tackle. Halftime coming up, and we'll take you down to Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. We enjoyed it so much last week, the EA folks said, hey, come back, let's do it again. So here we are, week 2. Let's get after it. Our spin around the NFL starts now at State Farm Stadium in Glendale. The Cardinals at home to take on Carolina. And it's the second-year wideout looking for a breakout year, Marvin Harrison Jr. Playing like street football. Everyone go deep, and this time it works. It's a catch and run of 86 yards. Touchdown. Meanwhile, let's check in on the Dolphins as they play host to the New England Patriots. And this is Jalen Wright. Lastly, let's go over to MetLife Stadium. The Jets taking on the Buffalo Bills. And here's Josh Reynolds. He's going to find an opening down the field and pull this one in. A 55-yard touchdown. The Jets give Aaron Glenn his first NFL head coaching victory as they get the job done here. We'll give you a look now at the remainder of the games in progress in the early window and what's still to come here in Week 2 of the National Football League regular season. Meanwhile, our game has not been all that competitive, a one-sided affair through 2 quarters. As we send you back out to the broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
First half of action. Will we get a turnaround? Let's find out. The third quarter is underway. On the return, it's Doolin. And he'll bring it out to the 22-yard line. That's where the offense will take the field. The Colts offense ready to get going again. They'll have it first in this third quarter. You know, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going for it on 4th down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. There wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball?
Oh, he's going to be bottled up and taken down. They got him. Nick Bonito. He gets in to record his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Here we go. Here we go. 6.
Throwing on 2nd down. Richardson. Looking middle, and he's got downs. Well, that helps. It's going to be a much more manageable 3rd down, getting some good yardage on that 2nd down play.
Now 3rd down and 4.
Here's Richardson. He'll try to run for it. And the Colts are going to have 1st and goal, trying to finish off this drive with a touchdown.
7-yard gain. That's another Colts 1st down. 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Off the zone read, this is Richardson. And he's going to be stopped just short of the goal line. Couldn't reach that ball across, setting up 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Ball a little closer now. It is 2nd and goal. Taylor is in into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. The kick is good. And the Colts are able to edge a bit closer. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. From the 6, here comes a return. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. Greg, you take a step back and look at the AFC West big picture. This is historic stuff. Chiefs are going for a 10th straight division title. But you have to remember, 2 other teams in this division won double-digit games last year. So the question is, are the Chargers and the Broncos that far behind Kansas City?
You know, it sounds crazy. When you mentioned 9 in a row, you think, oh, they're just going to continue to run away with it. But I'm actually fascinated by this division. I think LA and Denver are a lot closer to this year's version of Kansas City, maybe than there's a lot of talk about around the rest of the league. So until someone beats them, you'd be crazy to not pick Kansas City. But last year it was a 4-game and a 5-game spread between them. I think this year, come down the stretch, that spread is going to be a lot tighter.
No, Greg, I'm thinking if I'm a fan or even in the front office for the Chargers or the Broncos or the Raiders, do I build my team to try to knock off the king of the hill? Because you only play Kansas City 2 of those 17 games. So how do you factor that into your construction?
Yeah, I think it's such a great point. It's really fascinating to dive into. And while I wouldn't necessarily build my roster to just beat Kansas City or to just beat whoever you view as the top team in the division, you do want to find some commonalities among your 3 division opponents and make sure you are built to play within your division. Remember, that's 6 of the 17 now. Winning the division, you get you home playoff games. There's a lot on the line when you win your division and compete for that title. So, yes, every team has to build their roster. If you have a bunch of really good quarterbacks, you better be able to rush the passer and play pass coverage. If you're playing a lot of ground and pound, big running backs, you better be really good on the inside in defense and be able to defend the run. So there's themes across every division, and the teams that are built to compete within the division are usually the teams that find themselves in the playoffs.
From the 33, here's 2nd down.
Let's go now.
Richardson to throw. Pass right side to Downs. And he takes it down to the 15-yard line. They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Richardson will give it to Taylor. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10. At the 15.
Now Richardson. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. This drive's going to continue. They bring him down, but not before he picks up 1st and goal for his team.
That's good for a Colts. 1st down. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
They'll run here with Taylor. And that play took a little long to develop. They stop him for no gain at the 4.
4-yard line.
Inside the 5, it is 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal.
Alert!
Again, it'll be Taylor. Let's give him a yard down to the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal.
A 2-yard pickup brings up.
Here we go, here we go.
Out of shotgun, Richardson.
You could tell that this defense was ready for this exact play call. They know that they're going to give their quarterback a chance both through the air and on the ground with his legs. They do a nice job stopping him short of the goal line to force 4th down.
They'll run for it. It's Taylor. And he's not going anywhere. Stuffed behind the line. They have turned it over on down. Here's Dobbins. That one is snuffed out. Going to lose yardage. Back to the 3.
Well, they try to get the run game started here early on this drive, Mike, and they're just going to have to do a better job up front. There's really nowhere for this ball carrier to go. You never want to lose yards on first down, but that's exactly the case here.
They'll give it to Dobbins. And he's going to take this up to the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 13. First down, Broncos.
First down. First and 10 at the
Throw it.
17.
Nims. Rush comes. They're setting up the screens. And he's going to have this one up near the 28. That screen goes for 12. And that's a first down.
That's another Broncos first down. A gain of 12.
Working out of the gun. It's Nims. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete.
Up until that incompletion, they've done a really nice job on this drive, Mike, picking up fresh sets of downs. And typically, throwing the ball on first down is a great way to do it. But now they find themselves in 2nd and 10. Do you keep it in the air and try to get the first down here? Or is the idea to just make third down manageable and take your chances?
And they're not going to run him down. He goes all the way. 71 yards. Touchdown, Denver. Make it 4 touchdowns for him on the afternoon. Good-looking rushing touchdown there. Offensive line does its job. That back taking off to the end zone for the touchdown.
Mike, you're exactly right. He might get credit in the box score for that long rushing touchdown, but it was the big guys up front who were able to make that play possible.
Hit across the 20, mark him at the 22-yard line. The Colts offense headed back to take over once more. Well, Greg, as the season starts, really the season never ends. Think back to the schedule release, and the draft has become this multi-day huge event. Green Bay crushed it with all the folks around the stadium in Lambeau, and some big names will be tied to that draft forever. A couple of the rookies that you've watched that are just sticking out in your mind, interested to see how they fit in the league as this season gets going.
You know, obviously so much attention around the quarterback position. Cam Ward goes #1, and then obviously Shador and all the conversations around that as the draft unfolded. But I think a guy that's going to be fun to watch when you talk about fit, Mike, I think you look at Ashton Genty.
Let's go now.
He gets drafted by Vegas. He's now with the Raiders. Pete Carroll. It kind of has the feel of, is he his Marshawn Lynch? Is he the bell cow back under center, Geno Smith, play action, set up that run game, play good defense? This feels like the early path Pete Carroll took when he took over in Seattle and turned them into a Super Bowl champion. So I'm not saying Genty's Marshawn Lynch, but he certainly feels like that's the fit the Raiders were going for when they took him with their first-round pick.
Hey, let me ask you about Travis Hunter. Of course, a Heisman winner, Colorado, great play, both sides of the ball as a receiver and a corner. You know, Greg, it's hard to come in this league and play well on one side of the ball. Is it realistic to think you may see him on both offense and defense?
Well, that's the million-dollar question. And I think to start, you have to say, okay, let's hang our hat on something. And I think when you look at the league, where is it harder to find impactful players? I believe it's harder to find impactful defensive backs. I think it's a harder position. I think the league favors the offense with the rules and play style. So if I'm Jacksonville, I'm making Travis Hunter a defensive back on day one, and then I'm going to package my offensive plays around his skill set to take advantage of him as a wide receiver. And then as time goes on, it will eventually unfold where he'll be able to have a role on both sides of the ball more consistently. But if I was in Jacksonville,
trying to get away, but he will not. They finally run him down.
And it just continues to be a recurring problem. I mean, even the balls he's been able to get out of his hand have come from a cloudy pocket. And listen, I know he's a guy that can make some plays when he's on the move, but at some point, you have to be able to be in rhythm and deliver the ball on time. So at this point in the game, like offensively, I think for the offensive coordinator and the quarterback and everyone, they're just trying to build on something. Can you generate an explosive play? Can you bring just a little bit of energy to the huddle and to the sideline? Because throughout most of this game, not a whole lot's gone right.
And that one's incomplete. They really ratcheted up the coverage there, and they force the fourth down.
60.
From the gun, Richardson. That one intercepted. Picked off by Riley Moss. And he is the decision on fourth down to try to go for it. Instead, it goes back the other way for a pick six.
Yeah, and anytime you go for it on fourth down, you're saying, hey, we don't mind rolling the dice and taking some chances. In this case, it backfires. The defense is able to capitalize, and they take it all the way back the other way.
Here's Gould on the return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. Here's the Indianapolis offense. Now as they get set to take over once more, they'll do so with 1st and 10. He'll start this on the ground. It's Taylor. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
So I think as you look back over the course of this game, it's really been the inability of this offense, Mike, to create any sort of balanced attack to get anything going. And whether you look at the rushing yards, whether you look at just the points scored, this offense has to find a way going forward to generate more big plays and more balance, both run and pass. Just feels like this has been the story of the day for this offense, just unable to get anything going on the ground, and a big reason they find themselves trailing and another loss of yards.
Coming open is Pierce. It's on target. A 19-yard pickup there. 1st down, Indianapolis.
That's good for a Colts.
Let's go.
1st down.
Richardson. That one over the middle to the tight end. He's got Warren. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15. Space getting tight here, down to the 13-yard line. They work 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down. Sacked at the 17-yard line.
Even when it seems like they're putting a nice drive together, Mike, they just can't seem to escape this pass rush. It has been relentless all game long, and they get him here again.
This is caught 2. He's in. Tyler Warren. Touchdown, Indy. For Warren, he had 25 touchdowns during his Penn State days. That his 1st in the NFL.
Makes the score. Broncos.
Well, it's not going to be enough, but at least they find the end zone at the end of a hard week's work. At least it'll pay off with a touchdown, Greg.
Mike, you can just chalk this one up in the column of too little, too late. Give credit to this offense for not going down without a fight, but they're not going to have enough time to find themselves back in this.
He's to midfield.
You have no choice. You find yourself down big here late in the 4th quarter, Mike. got nothing to lose. Give it a shot. Nice job here by the hands team recovering. They're going to take over possession.
Now it's Dobbins. Has some room inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down. And he continues to rack up the yardage on the ground, and that last run puts him over 200 rushing yards in this game. It's now on 1st and 10. They'll try to set up the screen here. He is out of bounds. They have worked it inside the 15. They get 14 out of the screen, and it's a first down.
I always think you can tell pretty quickly how comfortable a quarterback is in their offense, Mike, by how fast they work through their progression and get the ball to their check down underneath. And in this case, with the depth of the defense, a lot of space in the short game, get him the ball, pick up the first down.
He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. If he gets a yard out of that one, it's second down.
In order to be successful as a run-heavy offense, Mike, it's so important that you remain really efficient on 1st and 2nd down. The last thing you want is to be in 3rd and pass, and it really throws off what you feel like your strengths are. So now you get down here in the red zone, it's got to be touchdowns. These long, sustained drives on the ground, you kick a field goal, that's a win for the defense.
3rd down, they need 5. A run here, it's McLaughlin. And he's into the end zone. Khalil McLaughlin, touchdown Broncos. His first touchdown of the new campaign.
That's the score.
And another score in another good performance after winning the opener on their way to 2-0.
Mike, you can't be 2-0 without being 1-0, and for them to be able to continue to string early wins together in the first part of the year, this is the start that every team dreams about. This is what you work for all offseason long to start your season and build some early momentum. Gives you a lot of flexibility and wiggle room as the rest of this season plays on.
Ready?
Richardson to throw it here on 1st down. Off-balance throw. It's complete. And he'll be brought down up past the 35-yard line. 6 catches for him in the ballgame now. And this one's good for a first down.
And this completion certainly won't be changing the outcome of the game by any means, but I do think there is something to be said for teams that continue to fight, they continue to try to at least finish this game and have something to build off of going into next week.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield. He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now, and a first down to boot.
You know, it's really been a one-sided game, but how often do we see in the 4th quarter the team that finds themselves down by a lot, they start to come alive. I think it's a combination of trying to end the game on a positive note, but also sometimes that defense getting a little lackadaisical.
Richardson to throw here on 1st and 10. Throw right side, pulled in by Mitchell.
A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they ended up holding them to just a short game.
Down the field, he's got one. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. They've got it inside the 15. It's another big play in a game that's had its share. 36 yards. So 2 minutes left to play in the second half. Greg and I back on EA Sports after this. Down at the 12. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Taylor gets it out of the pistol. Not much to speak of on that one. Maybe a gain of a yard. It's 2nd down.
Alert! Alert!
A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
A run with the former K-State product, DJ Giddens. He'll turn this into a gain of about 4. It's going to lead to 3rd down.
brings up 3rd and 4.
Richardson gonna look to throw. They'll try to hit him with a screen. And this is gonna be a touchdown. It's too little, too late. They do get a bit closer as they score here in the final minute of play.
At this stage of the game, the score is really irrelevant. You want to try to build something positive towards the end of this game, and I think that score will help do just that.
The kick is good.
So the kickoff team out there one final time in the final minute as they kick it away. This will be returned from the 6. He'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. The Broncos offense ready to get back at it. And it would appear they're on their way to a 2-0 start as they begin things here with 1st and 10 in this 4th quarter. On the ground, here's Dobbins. And he'll get about 4 to the 29.
And he's been on an absolute tear throughout this entire game, Mike. I mean, he's averaging over 10 yards per carry. And anytime you can run the ball with that explosiveness, it's just going to be hard to beat.
He was brought down by...
So it is a win for the visiting Broncos. They get the victory here, away from home, to run their early season record to 2-0. So that'll just about do it for Greg Olsen and our entire team. I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long, everyone.